So you differ between the term religion and spiritual.
Very
yes. How?
Well, we when we talk about these spiritual experiences, we use that term now, transpersonal. And if you look at the history of religions, at the beginning, the origin of all religions are in these experiences, transpersonal experiences. All the founders of religion, Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, you name it.
All the good guys.
Yeah. They had experiences, numinous experiences, transpersonal experiences. Otherwise, we would not have the religion. I mean, and not just the founders, but their their disciples, the prophets, and so on. Now, when religions become organized, what happens very frequently that the secular concerns take over about possessions, money, politics, and so on. In Christianity, I think a significant part of it was that they were persecuted and they had to organize themselves. And in the process, somehow they lost the connection with the real source from which Christianity came, from the mystical source. So once you have organized religions, that what happens that they relate to certain we would say archetypal images. They choose certain forms that they worship, and they unite a certain group of people who see it the same way. And in that sense, religion unites. Religion should unite. Religo means binding together. Something that before was fragmented. But what happens with these kinds of religions, that they also set that group against another group that has found a different different symbolic images for the divine, and the differences are enough for bloodshed, for wars, for killing. And it's not just between different religions, but if the fractions or factions happen frequently within the religion. So we have centuries of problems between Catholics and Protestants, and in Islam they have the Sunnis and the Shiites who kill each other. And then even India, you have the Sikhs got into conflict with the Hindus, which were enough to kill, and now more recently Muslims and Hindus are killing each other for their differences in understanding God, understanding the divine. But all the great religions have also mystical branches. There are the Sufis in Islam, there are the Christian mystics, there are the Hasidic Jews, there are the Kabbalists, and so on. The mystics actually that get through these archetypal images to the source out of which everything comes. The mystics of the world, they get together just fine. It's the organized religions that have differences with their dogmas and so on. And very frequently people who are involved in this never had spiritual experiences. You don't have to have a spiritual experience to make it big in an organized religion, to become an official, in a religion.
So the religions separate us instead of binding us.
I hope that what we will have in the future, and that's also the philosophy of the holotropic breathwork, that a religion would create a context for people within which they could have personal spiritual experiences, and also offer them some method through which they can reach personal experiences. But they would not have any investment, whether it will take the Christian form or the Buddhist form. It would be what's called ecumenical, or ecumenical, at least they try to sort of tolerate each other. And so I'm talking even beyond that we really, generally have tremendous appreciation for spirituality, but we understand that ultimately it all aims for the same source. And we don't want to get stuck somewhere, in the middle of the journey, and that into conflict with other people from another religion who are also stuck halfway somewhere.
Talking about that leads us into talking more about the global situation. I mean, that's really stuck with the religions fighting against...
People in the transpersonal circles, they believe that what we see in the world is this horrendous global crisis. It's many, many different dimensions, many different symptoms, economical, political, military, and so on, that ultimately they are just expression of one underlying problem, which has to do with the state of consciousness evolution of the human species. And unfortunately, we're trying to solve the problems in the world by using the same strategies that got us into this trouble in the first place. And Einstein sort of pointed out that there's no way of solving the problem if you approach it that way. So I think the really strong conviction in the transpersonal circles is that the only real hope for us is inner transformation of a large sort of groups, mass scale, where they would somehow, first of all, clean somehow the pockets of aggression that we carry, part of which is birth, but it could go beyond that. It could be karmic and of course postnatal as well. But that they also experience this kind of spirituality that unites, that's universal, that's sort of all-encompassing, all-embracing. And, if we had a situation where we had the heads and the hearts in the right place, we could solve the problems. We need a planetary situation. People transcending this kind of narrow nationalism and sort of religious, sectarianism and so on. I believe, like what Krishnamurti said, it's the only revolution, real evolution, is the inner revolution. We have seen many revolutions that were promising a lot, the French Revolution and the Bolshevik Revolution. And the situation after the victory of the revolution didn't exactly meet somehow the expectations, because people didn't change.
So that's really the solution of the global situation, that people has to change individually.
Yeah. Well, the question is how it could be done.
Yes.
I mean, I have seen that kind of transformation that we are talking about in many individuals. But how to do it in a way that would really include, many, many people in different countries.